Hello, hello, we are back with the Hellbreaker sequence. Harhel is fighting a bunch of Nautiluses in the void of space. Yep, that's happening. So, yeah, I mean, basically, this is like, epic battle sequence. Harhel is fighting these things. And basically, it's like, right, a desperate, like, okay, I guess my question is, what is Harhel's, like, intent through all of this? Like, what does he want to accomplish? Is he trying to still get the attention of the dark entity? Is he just like focused on like, all right, I gotta kill these things and like super laser focused on that?
I think for now he's focused on killing them.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, I'm gonna deal with these first and then I'll try again.
Make everything else harder. So.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So you're gonna roll fiercely assault. When you use an appropriate weapon to hurt, capture, or drive off your enemies, roll plus force. You have a force of +0.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to use data.
Probably a good move. All right, so minus the 2, that's a 10, still a success, unmitigated. So look at the character moves there. Fiercely assault. On a 10 plus, you choose 2 from the character list, and the GM chooses 1.
I would say find out some new info and inflict savage, terrifying harm.
Okay. Yeah, would you like to describe for us the way you totally destroy these things?
I mean, I just like blast my trumpet at them.
You blow the trumpet 7 times, and the walls of Jericho fall down. Yeah, I mean, basically, probably, right? Like, it's like, waves of this sonic energy that's just like tearing them apart and blasting their shells into pieces and laying waste to them and the environment. And it's lots of like blast waves and stuff, and then they eventually, like, the last one falls to the land, like probably like to the ledge, and then crashes against the ledge and then falls into the void, flailing its tentacles wildly, trying to reach for anything, and then dying as it gets swallowed into the shadow. And you get your data back. I got 7 data, and you, I think the one I'm gonna choose is you take harm as appropriate. Like, this is not a clean battle for you. It's desperate. It's horrifying. Their tentacles, they get in a bunch of really good hits where literally one of them just like crushes you with their entire mass and like presses you down into the rocks, and you literally have to blast like point blank trumpet and just like splatter it, sort of a thing to like get out. But like, I think you mark 2 more harm boxes. So you're bathed in blinding light and glitched.
Right.
So you have a -1 steal right now. Whenever you use it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So.
I'm sure that won't be a problem at all.
And so you're just there, like, pieces of you are just like hanging off of your body, not like, your casing is torn open in some places, wires are splayed everywhere, and you just like, you're heavily like, okay, that's done. You have like weird eldritch guts all over you. I don't think Nissa helps you because it's not her job, and she just grabbed Darvishi and just went and hid somewhere, like at a rock outcropping. But she pokes her head out now after it, like, the last one falls into the abyss. And she just says, are they dead? Are they gone?
He just like groans and is like, yes.
Yeah. And she steps out, and I think that's probably when you appear, Beruz, just like on the edge of the ledge. And so she steps out and sees Harahel, and then you see Harahel. She looks at you and then looks beyond you, and then her eyes widen, and I think she just drops her rifle and just runs straight towards you, Beruz, and it's just like, oh my, and whatever epithet that would be like an oh my gosh in this situation for her particular religious viewpoints and whatever, secular or otherwise, and just runs over to you and just grabs you by the shoulder and just like, are you all right? What happened? Where did you go?
Yeah, he says, it's a long story, but I think we have bigger problems. And he points over at Harahel.
Yeah, she turns and like looks concerned. He's like, what do you mean?
I think he tries to grab her rifle.
It's like she left it like back at the rock formation. Remember, she like dropped it and ran over.
Oh, right, okay.
She probably has like a sidearm though, if you wanted to grab that.
Yeah, then he'll go for that. And like as he's going for it, he's like, "Weren't you there an hour ago?" And then he points the gun at, or assuming he can get it away from her, assuming she doesn't stop him. He points at
yeah.
I mean, I can make a roll.
I'm trying to I don't know if there would be a roll here. I think what would probably happen is you'd grab your arm and then be like, what are you doing? And then you'd say something like, we need to, like, that's one of the things that tried to kill us before. And then she'd let you grab it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I guess she's just like standing there like tense and then realizes she left a rifle over there next to Darvishi and basically has to run past Harhel to go get it now.
Right.
And she's like, listen, I don't think this has to be violent. He didn't try to hurt either of us. I think he was looking for something. For you, maybe. But not to kill you, right? And then looks at you.
You imagine that might be a good reason not to kill you if he was trying to get to me.
Right, yeah. So go ahead and make a diffuse, I guess.
Just to ironically, actually the opposite of what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. You're basically trying to escalate, yeah.
Yeah.
With fast talking, yeah.
11.
Yeah, I mean, this is very obviously like Nissa almost like instantly goes from being like how she was before and then realizes, wait a second, like this is so dumb. Of course, like I'm not doing my job, like I am awful. Like why in the heck would I even think this way? And then you see her pull like 2 knives from her boots. And then she just like grasps them and then she says, What do you want to do?
I mean, I assume Hell's straight up like looking at us at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm right there, yeah.
You have like Eldritch guts all over you.
Right. And you said she doesn't have a rifle yet, right?
Nope. Okay. It's by Darvishi. Like basically it's like Harahel is in between Darvishi and you two. And she ran past Harahel, at least somewhat. Harahel's probably like over to the left a little bit more. It's not directly parallel or perpendicular or whatever. Yeah, so right now she's not going to go for it because then she would, basically it's like, it'd be like attack of opportunity situation for Harahel.
Yeah, right.
He just grips his trumpet tightly.
I mean, I assume that I wasn't saying this loud enough. Or I guess I'm pointing a gun at you. Never mind.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to hand Nissa the knife that the thing gave me.
Okay.
I toss it to her and I say, "You'll probably be better with this than I will."
I mean, I had described her already grabbing like 2 knives out of her boots.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't hear that.
You're right.
Okay. Then in that case, he says, "Use this one," and he tosses it to her.
Okay, yeah, I think
I don't know if it's special or not, but it's magical shadow guy gave it to me, so I'm gonna assume it does something.
Okay, yeah, she puts her other knife back and then tests it in her grip. She's, I mean, it's well balanced at least.
Um,
So what? Are we just attacking him or?
yeah.
Because Harhel's, you're just standing there, right? You're not making any move.
Let me. Yes,
Literally everyone at this point is one step away from just
all real close to me.
Yeah, real close to dying.
So he says, he says, I'll see if I can get you an opening. And he lowers the gun a little and like starts to walk towards Hell, but like he still has it ready. He's just not pointing at him anymore. But
basically, is the idea you're gonna roll fiercely assault and like.
Well, actually, I want to see. I don't really know what. I can't help myself. I don't really know if there's a way I can like set up a roll. You know what I mean? Like give myself advantage. I want to try and make it seem like I'm going to be peaceful so that Nissa can attack. Right? Like I don't really know if there's a role for that. I guess it's probably just fiercely assault.
Yeah.
Right?
The thing is, like when basically the rules for Nissa is get +1 force when they fight at your command. So it's just like you're rolling. You're gonna roll, fiercely assault. With her bonus, right?
Right, which I knew that I was going to have to do that. I was hoping I could try and like set it up somehow with my own ability to like lie.
If you wanted to, you could just spend a point of data if you have one. That gives you advantage on it. That it could be the situation, right? Like
I think I do. I actually don't know where that's written.
You have one. You have 1 point of data.
I mean, if this goes badly, I'm going to die. So sure.
Okay.
Then we're still just doing force result, right? Okay, yeah. So, and what he says is basically like he has his gun slightly lower, and as he moves towards Hell, and he's like, so I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but we had to set Azimuth on fire to get rid of the last two or whatever, the last group of you. He's like, I'm not going to make the same mistake we made there. But he's basically just trying to get her to. Or get him to talk, so that there can be an opening.
Do you say anything in response, Harhel?
Yeah, he just asked. I think he just asked, like, what did he offer you? Power?
And as this is happening, like Beirut is like doing the like predator like walk around, and so is Nissa on the other side, and then like basically like starting to go around you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think he probably just says. Well, honestly, I was gonna say he didn't try and like kill us to tell me, but he did draw me into a void, so I'm not really sure that counts. I think he just says he offered me an answer, and then I'm gonna try and he'll just try and shoot, probably uselessly at Hell, but guns are louder than knives, so hopefully you'll look in the right direction.
Sure.
Actually, I'm kind of hoping you don't, but so here's my 2d6 plus nothing. Yeah, here's my 4. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Were you going to spend the advantage?
Oh, you're right, but I mean, it's a 5. Oh, it's advantage. That's right. Okay, well, so I'll just roll 1d6. One more, yeah, well, I mean, so what does this do? So
this is like your fiercely assault, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's also, it would be a 0, yeah, you're right. You fail. So, I mean, basically, I think what happens, Harhel, you totally see exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to distract you so that Nissa can come up behind you and stab. So he does shoot at you, though. But you're in, basically, I think the situation here is you're in total control of this situation. So what do you want to happen? You could totally just kill at least Nissa if you wanted to. because you see the trap being laid. But it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, how it probably goes is that, as soon as I start shooting, she jumps at you with within close range. So the whole intention of this was that she was the most obvious threat. I mean, I can't use a pistol.
Yep.
I use my voice to fight things. I don't know how to shoot.
I mean, my trumpet wouldn't kill a person, so I think I will just blast it at Nissa. She tries to attack me.
Yeah, I mean, you just knock her unconscious. She just gets blown back, hits a rock formation, just falls down.
Oh, your weapon's non-lethal? Well, that sort of throws a wrench in that, I suppose.
I think the way that it is, though, it's non-lethal except when it's against Eldritch Horrors and stuff because of its aberrant nature. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, I mean, either way, that means I take damage. No, because she's not dead. Okay. I don't know.
No.
What is that?
This is just Harhel. It's just Harhel's in control of the situation. So, Nissa's out for the count right now. You can't use her. And Harhel gets to do whatever he wants, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so it's yeah. I was just wondering whose ball was in as a word.
You don't take harm or anything, so.
Right. But I mean, I don't get to roll again, right? She's...
No, yeah. Harhel's in control right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I mean, Harhel, you came here to, fight a threat to that which is holy. Yeah. If you think that Beiruz is, already too far gone...
Is there a way I can roll to determine that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Let's kind of the determining factor of what he's going to do.
Would that be a roll on my part to try and hide my intentions, or a roll on his part to try and tell what's
It depends on the move. So I could see you doing scanning platform here, or...
Sorry, there's a bunch of people shooting off fireworks outside. So
you're fine. I can't hear it. Yeah. Really, that's probably it, Carly, doing scanning platform. Your special move there on your character sheet. So with lore.
Okay, so just a 2d6 plus 1.
Yep.
All
right, you get to ask one of those questions then.
Okay.
She's asking me these questions, I assume?
Okay. She's asking me the question about the scene, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like read a character.
Right. Well, that's what she's trying to do, right? She's trying to...
basically, the move allows her to... analyzing the current scene. Yeah.
All right.
Let's say what, if anything, is hidden here.
Yeah. I think that's probably a pretty good question to ask. What is hidden here? Maybe this is a question I can pass to you, David. What, if anything, is hidden here? What does Harhel pick up?
The thing I can think of is that the whole point of this was to try and get her to kill Nissa so that I didn't have to. Because I don't think that Beiruz is super up to killing other perihelions. It's not really his thing.
Yeah.
But also he's supposed to prove this. So I think his intention was either he could kill this angel thing and be like, look, I did something better. Or I killed one of your enemies instead of my buddy. Which obviously isn't the point. But or be like, I got her killed on purpose. I did what you asked. I just didn't do it myself. Because, who is he to do exactly what he's asked?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think
So I mean, what is hidden here is the fact that that was a trap not for you, Harahel, but for Nissa, and he didn't count on. So you see like disappointment in his face, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if I know that she's not dead. Because if I saw someone blast a trumpet and someone was flying,
that's fair.
I would assume that
maybe
they
you think
just
maybe you think
exploded
she's dead
or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe it's like this like look of like satisfaction or elation or relief.
No, I mean I'm still about to die, so it's probably none of those.
But there's something about his bearing that is telling you that that was a trap for Nissa and not for you.
Yeah, maybe it's basically like the tension shifts from like obviously the subject of my tension was Nissa initially. Like I was barely even paying attention. Like my shots were probably nowhere even remotely near you, and now all of a sudden I'm ignoring Nissa and then like looking at you and pointing at you and like, why would I be so worried about my buddy after they attacked? Like obviously I was setting up a trap, but once it sprung, I should have been more worried about you.
Yeah,
I wasn't apparently.
Yeah, so Harahel just looks at you and like analyzes you.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, he wants you to kill her, doesn't he? And you can't do it.
I mean, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't trust his aim enough to just keep trying to shoot you.
I mean, yeah, if you do, you won't get very far.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like his only option is to lie again. At this point. Yeah, so I think he says, I'd hope to offer him a better prize. And then he's still pointing a gun at you, but he's not shooting it because it didn't do any good last time either. Gosh, yeah, I'm trying to think of what I could do, or like what he could do to try and turn this around, because that's what he wants to do. Obviously, it won't work. But where is Nissa's rifle in relation to me? Because we were circling her, right? Him,
yeah. Him. You could probably get to it, but like Nissa was the way Nissa was moving was closer to it than you. You could make a play for it, but it would be risky.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a diplomat. He's not gonna do that until his words fail him. So
yeah.
I think he says, but obviously that was unsuccessful. So what happens now?
Good question.
Whatever your choice is, I'd make it soon. I'm sure he's still watching. He may make it for you.
I'm just trying to figure out how Harahel would answer that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the convenient way out of not having to kill me if you attack me. So honestly, I'm not really sure it matters too much.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Harahel's kind of job here is to make sure you don't go too far instead of like going too far and having to kill you.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what I mean is you could just not kill me and then leave, right? Or with me. I mean, I don't know actually how that works. I don't know if you can take people with you when you teleport. So maybe that's not an option. But
yeah, I don't think you can, or he can.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Then never mind.
And also, he's just summoned by threats that are to that which is holy. He can't like necessarily just teleport back.
Well, how is he planning on getting out here in the first place?
Probably making a roll, honestly.
Yeah.
which I suppose is the point, right? Like, I mean, I guess I wouldn't ask if you had a way out because I would assume you would because you teleported in here in the first place.
But yeah,
So,
Harahell's been here a couple of times now, so
I wouldn't have any reason to question whether or not you had a route out because, yeah.
Yeah, I think Harahell just says, "Don't give him what he wants."
Yeah. And what then? We're still stuck in his realm, remember?
you could just say like I've escaped before.
Yeah, that's fair.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say he would, at least in his head, jokingly just be like, another herald will show up at some point. This place is plenty unholy. But yeah, he'd probably just say like, I've gotten out of here before. Could figure it out again.
Was there a disembodied vengeful spirit following you around when you did it last time?
No.
May not play out the same way.
I mean, technically there was. Easteret's friend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the baby Tannerin.
Yeah. Well, maybe not the vengeful part.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, could I put together that he could end up like Iseret if he like actually goes through with killing Nissa?
I mean, if he goes through with killing Nissa, he will become something much worse than Iseret. Like,
okay.
Iseret is still dancing that line between, like...
That's a good point. Okay. Sorry, never mind. Let's read something. Never mind, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you're fine. I'm curious what you thought, what you realized.
Well, it depends on. I think we're still in a circumstance where I don't have enough control over the situation.
Yeah.
So I want to see what happens first before I try anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
No, you're.
Where did we leave off the conversation? Are you waiting on me?
No,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. I think so.
Wasn't it last you said like something about the vengeful spirit?
Yeah, I was like, you didn't have someone following around last time. It might not happen the same way.
Yeah.
At least with my protection, you'd have someone on your side that could actually stand a chance against that kind of power.
Says, well, and then what? We get back to. I'm sorry, what's the planet called?
Bastamen.
Bastamen? Okay.
Yeah.
And then what? We get back to Bastamen, and I return to Azimuth, and the the Hellbreakers. I forgot. Like it's named after them. The Hellbreakers continue to train their men, and the child continues to derail our followers, and Azimuth becomes a useless floating disc in the sky in 10 years. What's the point?
how Harahel would respond to that, because obviously he doesn't care if that happens.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's all for the better for me.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just depends on whether or not Harahel wants to try to redeem Beirut, or if he's satisfied with just killing him. Or maybe, I guess the third option could be knocking him out and capturing him and bringing him back to wherever.
Maybe I should have asked this before I said something, but do you want to make a roll? Because that's sort of... Right?
For
like, do you want to
what
make
specifically?
To convince him to not give... I mean, to denounce the agreement he made, basically, right? Like,
yeah.
Because, I mean, either he does that and goes back with you, and I should have asked you to do that before I responded, or he doesn't, right? Like, I don't know. Because I think he's definitely resistant to it, but at least maybe he could be persuaded to, like, go along with it. So I guess really it would be whatever you say next, actually, I guess, that would generate the roll. Because he has to be convinced that this isn't going to just be a waste of time since he has an answer now.
Yeah.
And I think, does Harahel actually, like, hesitate when he asks him this? Because you said he doesn't really care, so...
Yeah, he definitely hesitates.
So I want to send out that telepathic link again, or see if I can, like, communicate with the guy.
Yeah, the Black General.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what do you say?
When I do this, how long will it take to have this gift you promised?
As soon as the sacrifice is given, you will gain your power. So basically, if you walk over there and you slit Nissa's throat or whatever, you will get your power.
Yeah. All right, then he'll wait for Harahel's response then.
If you're concerned about the future, you should be concerned about what evil you can be bringing into it.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, the shadow down here showed me a world revitalized with energy and power in it again. All I've seen of your people is the fire that they started in Azimuth. You'll forgive me if I'm not inclined to take your side. Or rather, inclined to take your word for it. Technically, I've also seen your tech give my people a plague, so there was that too.
Very true.
I mean, that was our fault, but...
Yeah.
It wasn't like you did it on purpose, but it was still your technology that caused the plague. And mostly it was me rolling ones, like always, but...
What was the last thing you said, David?
That the shadow showed me a world that was revitalized with power, and that all I've seen from Harahel's people were fires in Azimuth. So I wasn't inclined to take her word for the fact that there would be evil in the world if I went along with this thing.
Yeah, I think he says he lies. Something he's really good at. My people are held accountable to something, so our actions, mistakes and all, cannot always be hidden.
Is it that you're held accountable to?
Didn't I just name it Our Father, like just as a general?
Our Father, Holy Father, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he'd just say, Our Father.
I mean, that's incredibly confusing.
You are a robot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so he cocks his eyebrow at you, and then he says, and where is he?
Behind the strings of it all, of course.
Well, then he won't have to be concerned about what I bring into the world, will he?
No, but we will. Because we have to deal with it in the meantime.
Yeah, and so he says, so you're telling me that this father of yours is good, and that this shadow creature is evil, and that if I allow him to give my people a place, or rather return their place to them, that's what evil is going to come of him.
I don't know how to answer that.
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she said that he would bring evil, or like there'd be evil into the world if I helped him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he would cause evil to come about. So he's like, what kind of evil is going to show up if, like, he promised basically to put my people back where they belong. Sounds pretty good to me. So what kind of evil is supposed to be showing up?
Be like, you're evil too, by the way.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
Somehow I don't think that's going to convince him.
Yeah.
Not that you have to convince him. I'm just saying. Yeah, and I think after a second, he just sort of shakes his head and he says, if I have to take your word or his, I think maybe yeah, he just says, I don't know, I think maybe just trailed off. He says, if I have to take your word or his. And then, when I have to roll to shoot an unconscious person?
Good question.
I mean, it's not really like attacking her, but also I imagine we don't want to just let me do it for free because it's sort of important. And I'm a bad shot. I mean, she's literally not moving, but
you also have a handgun and it's a little bit of ways, so yeah.
Yeah. I think it's not really a question of whether I hear, it's when I hear before I get killed.
Right.
I think it's probably the point.
I would guess diffuse.
With what?
With steel.
Okay. I think I have a +0 to that.
Yeah, you have a +0.
See how it goes.
Yeah, basically you're just trying to like quick react.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is we're well, that's probably for the best.
Like 4 6s. What the heck?
Oh, well, you know me.
Okay, what happens here? So, Harahel, what would you do if he obviously shot at Nissa, missed? Like, how would you respond?
I mean, I assume he keeps shooting, right? So it's not that I've shot a miss; it's that I'm missing currently, and eventually I might not miss again.
It's that scene in The Mandalorian where the stormtroopers are trying.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess I could run out of bullets. Technically, that's a thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I think Horahel kind of chuckles a little bit, and is like, maybe you're not cut out for the position that he wants you for.
Yeah, as you pitifully just.
You can't even.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
I think. Because I mean, obviously you can't hit her because you're just bad at aiming, but
right.
But I think Horahel sees it as like you can't even go through with what you have to do to begin the process.
And I think maybe in two different ways. It could be legitimately like the emotional side of it that you've already pointed out, but also the like you're not competent enough. Like you're gonna get this power and you're gonna misuse it because you don't know how to handle power. You've never been powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I think he says, yes, you are probably right. It seems perhaps I need a hand. And he's just going to go over to her and try and kill her normally. And, I mean, it's up to Horahel whether that happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, he takes out Claymore and tries to knock you out.
Yeah.
I mean, you just do it, right? When you want to, you just do it. You just blast him. Okay, so this is the thing, Horahel. Would you care if you happen to blast him accidentally over the edge into oblivion again? Because that's technically in the way this is in my mind, you are technically at this point you'd be pointing him directly at the ledge if you blasted him with this.
I mean, I think in retrospect he'd care because his goal is to redeem him, but I think just he would do it anyway as a reaction to not wanting another person to die. So
yeah, and I think that's what happens because that's part of his failure. What's his face's Beerus's failure here is that consequence of like you just blast him and that's the direction that you go and you just and Beerus just disappears into the void,
which conveniently belongs to the guy trying to work for him. So I guess there's that. But.
Yep. But I think for all intents and purposes, Beerus is dead. He might like come back as some weird demon thing, but like as in terms of a main character, he's probably just gone.
Right. Yeah. That's fine.
It's the first time I've killed a player character.
It happened accidentally. Yeah.
Well, it's more like it just took a lot of work.
Yep. So, Beerus, when you mark off your dead box, tell those present who you name as your successor. Your nomination will be respected by all parties, at least initially. I mean, is Nissa your successor?
So what does that mean? Because I'm not actually even technically in charge. Like, I'm not a leader.
Yeah, but like your successor in terms of like diplomat person.
Right. How would I give that information out?
No, I know. Like, obviously you're dead and you're just gone. But like, this is what happens when you die. So even whether or not you can actually say it, you can tell me as the GM right now. Like, who is it who takes your place?
Yeah, it was just that it said that everyone respects it, and so it sounded like you're on your deathbed being like,
that would normally be the case, obviously. But I'm still gonna, I still want to give you your death move, even though there's technically no physical way for it to work how it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think it has to be Nissa.
Yeah, I mean, could technically also be Darvishi.
Yeah, but I think it's much better if Nissa goes on a anti-angel raid because they murdered her boss, and in reality, it's the only reason she didn't die.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Then we get to have the point of some time where you're like, you're stupid. Exactly. Yeah.
So, it's too bad that Beerus didn't survive this because he was definitely going to mark the rebel move.
Oh,
Roll
yeah,
move.
probably.
Mark, when you learn something that shakes up your view of the world, say who you're hoping will give you answers. I mean, that's exactly what just happened. But but yeah, Beirut dies. So I guess Harhel, like, what do you do? Darvishi's technically still like awake and alive, and he's standing there, and he's just like, "Please don't kill me."
Well, that's true. I guess he heard all of that.
Yeah, I just assumed he was doing math problems and staying out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe he got knocked unconscious during the course of the whole battle with the.
I mean, your trumpet is area, so
it's true. Yeah.
He could have been knocked unconscious.
Very loud.
Well.
What do you do with those two then, Nissa and Darvishi? Do you just leave them here?
I'd probably make some kind of roll to see if I can get them out.
Yep.
Along with myself.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be Forge a Path.
That's still a thing.
Forge a Path.
This is plus force.
Good force, do I?
Nope, you got a 0.
Okay. Then I will use data on this.
All right.
Which you rolled a 0, and I was like, what? How is that possible?
9.
Alrighty. So that means you get to choose, I believe, one. No, on a 7-9, you pick 2 of the options in Forge a Path for character moves. So you're gonna have to choose. You're gonna have to.
Hey, could I as Nissa roll to help her? Because I'm just gonna make Nissa as a character now. So.
Oh really? Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that she's just out, like, for the purposes of this scene. Like, she's
that's right.
out,
I guess
out
she's,
for the count. Yeah, she's still
unconscious.
unconscious. Yeah.
I guess
this is Harhel like dragging
she...
them. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It would be way more complicated if she woke up.
During... like, where did Beirut go?
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, you get to pick 2 of these. Obviously, you can't take your other characters with you because then you won't be able to take them with. So you have to choose 2 of the other ones. Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Probably takes longer than expected, and the route you took is lost.
Yeah, so you'll never be able to get back. This probably area of the World of Shadows is probably closed off to you. If you come back here, it's probably going to be very bad for you. And it takes a lot longer than you expected.
Maybe he's like being chased by that Tannerin, and then like it. Obviously, they escape, but like it seals it off. Like it now expects to see him, and so if he comes back, it'll basically he'll have to fight the Tannerin.
Yep. Yeah, we just see Harhel dragging these 2 people through the wasteland and eventually getting back into Bastamen. And I guess, I mean, really we can just kind of like skip ahead and be like, where does Harhel leave them? Does he take them back to your family? Or do you just like actually like do you leave them somewhere? Do you take them back to Nadir? Any of those options we can just say happens because you succeeded the roll. So
I think at the very least he definitely takes the doctor with him because the doctor had mentioned something about like killing Harold, like taking apart Harold's, and he was like, okay, we need to know what you know and what you've done.
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of awesome.
No, what
Nasur did. The doctor. That's
awesome.
Like, now the doctor is now going to be captured by the angels. That's awesome.
But he probably just like finds the nearest. Well, he probably just takes Nissa with him too. Then, at least for the time being. Like,
but probably lets her go eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to treat her as a prisoner necessarily.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you're taking Darvishi back as like a hostage, but Nissa will get to go on. Are you going to roll up Nissa as an elder?
No, I'm gonna roll her up as a road warrior, I think.
What? Nice.
If I can find the playbook, anyways. It's supposed to be on page 90, and here I am. It's not there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Harahel, you are really, really beaten up.
Yep.
And the problem is,
I need to find someone that can fix me.
Yeah, you need a surplus, right? That's the issue. You need a surplus that can be spent, or not spent, but like a surplus that can be used to heal you. And the angels don't have it right now. The heralds don't have it.
If I make her the martyr, she has the dagger still.
Ooh. Wait a second. What? Wait a second. You're going to have her sacrifice herself?
Maybe. I mean, not right away.
Right, obviously.
Character arc.
Yeah. That's awesome. I really like Nis as a character, so I'm really glad you're going to play her.
She's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have justice and leadership, so you're going to have to get another surplus to heal up Harahel. Otherwise, he's going to be down for the count in terms of going anywhere.
I need to not go anywhere until I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's zoom out and do that move. All right. When events move from zoomed-in scenes to the bigger picture and actions covering weeks and months become important, each player whose main character wasn't involved picks one. That doesn't matter. So we have just zoomed out and don't need to do any of that stuff. Any family level stuff that needs to be done here in the aftermath of this. You could interrogate Darvishi as a family move.
Yeah.
I just want to save that for the next session, just so I at least have something to initially do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Gosh, it's so perfect.
The martyr.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The traitor role is literally, mark when you meet the greatest tormentor of this age. To win their heart and soul, you must give yourself fully to them. Say it's a lesson you must learn or one you must teach.
What? That's so cool.
Obviously, she won't start out that way, but
yeah. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Oh, hey, Carly. Technically, something you could do is if you have, let's see, who do you have treaty with? You have treaty on the Hellbreakers, the Last Watch, the Recollection, and the Perihelions. If you wanted to, you could do the family move, call in a debt, and spend one treaty to take a surplus from them.
Ooh. That would be helpful.
Yeah. Taking rare materials from the Perihelions would totally be a thing that would help you heal, though, right?
Yep, definitely want to do that.
And no, it would literally kill them all. Remember, our bodies are hacked with
No, it just means you don't have a surplus of it. You still have barely enough.
Right, but you said if she took our stuff, that she would be able to heal.
No, as in, rare materials can be the thing that helps them, a surplus that helps Harahel be able to heal his, harm.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you could spend one treaty to do that if you want to.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Let's see, so... David, you don't have any treaty on the Forgotten Heralds, but you can technically roll hold together to resist it if you want.
Wait, she has treaty on me?
Yep, she has 2 treaty on you.
When did that happen? I have that she has 0. Did that happen during the game?
It might have. Yes, no. I think it did because of the whole situation with the medicine and stuff. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so.
It was because you angered them by raiding their place. Yeah.
Up their house.
Yeah.
Or more like
so you're spending one of that.
And so then I have to make hold together, right?
Yeah. If you want to resist it, then yeah.
And it happens at a -1, right? Because
it's whatever your mood is.
Right, which is -1.
Yeah, -1. Yeah.
-2 if I fail this. Yeah, look at that. Roll the 1.
Wow. All right. Well, so obviously you fail. I mean, okay. So obviously, what has to happen here is instead of it just going into you barely have enough, now it's a need. You have a need
Well,
for.
that's not what stealing it does, right? It just gives
No, I
you
know, but
surplus.
because you failed, I get to make a GM move. Right?
Right. Okay.
Because you just failed. If you had done a 7 to 9, then there would have been a complication. But like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
So yeah, basically it's. So if you hadn't tried to make the roll, you would have had it go away as a
No,
surplus,
yeah,
but not
I
as a need.
wasn't thinking about it. The fact that it was a fail, yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yep. So now they basically managed to. So I think what happens, right, is this is probably all just done through stuff with Darvishi, actually, Carly, right?
That makes sense.
Right? You get Darvishi to tell you how to steal a bunch of the rare materials, and you just write it and take them. So yeah. The Perihelions are very desperate right now. Perfect. So now you can heal all of your harm, Harahel.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
That was a long time in coming.
Mm-hmm.
You've been damaged since the first session.
Yep.
I was very worried that you were going to get totaled during that.
Yeah, me too.
But I forgot that
I was pretty
is
sure
sucky.
you were gonna be fine. Yeah.
At combat.
That was convenient.
Mm-hmm. Cool. David is the Perihelions. Do you want to do any family stuff?
I mean, like, I have treaty over other people that I could spend. See, I don't know. I don't really like the treaty system. Like, I don't know how to use it because it feels stupid to me to just immediately use one of those to try and steal something from someone else. But mechanically, that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah. I think the only thing is that we haven't been using treaty a whole lot. And so there's just a bunch of it.
Both times was on me.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, like, technically, like, in theory, we should be throwing around treaty all the time doing stuff, but there's a whole bunch of treaty built up, so it just makes sense to be like, well, I guess I'm going to steal, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. If you steal all the time, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. It just feels weird to do that immediately after losing something, so I don't want to do that.
And it doesn't really make sense in this situation because so the only person you could do it against that would make sense, you could do it against the Hellbreakers if you wanted to, because I'm here. I just don't want you to do it. It wouldn't make sense to do it against players
that's
here.
The other thing is it limits me because they're not here yet. I only have it with Josh and Jared. So
okay,
I'll just let me see if I can find the family moves and see if there's anything.
You could have the Perihelions do some sort of military.
Yeah,
thing.
I was gonna say I'll probably do that. Although we don't have Nissa with us anymore, right? They still have Nissa?
This can be when Nissa's there.
Okay, because I mean Nissa would probably be like, hey, the Heralds killed Beirut, should go do a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like her initial thing is going to be a very, like, revenge story thing, even though it's not going to stay that way.
Okay.
So I think, and she was named his successor, or whatever. So she has, like, weight now. Yeah.
Maybe there was something in, like, Beirut's, like, data pad or whatever journals that he has, like, on a computer back in Azimuth or something, and it said, like, or he told Iskander or something, if anything ever happens to me, like, I want Nissa to, like, be promoted, sort of a thing.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it feels dumb to just attack them and try and steal back the rare materials, right? Like, that feels stupid. So I don't want to do that, but I don't know that it makes any sense to attack them for any other reason, or like for any other thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's fine. Harahel got it for the reason that he wanted to heal, and he did. And this is sometime afterwards, and it could be like...
And it makes sense that they would come back after it because it's a rare material, so I can get it in a lot of other places.
Yeah, just roll it, and we can see what happens.
Okay.
Roll plus grasp.
Yeah.
Hey, you're good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, theoretically, I'm good at that.
You can also...
Right.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Sorry, what?
No, it wasn't going to matter. Okay, 7 is you choose 2. On a hit, it's theirs, but not without cost. On 7 and 9, choose 2 of those 3 options there in a claim by force. Obviously, can't choose the first option because you have no surpluses.
One of those, yeah.
So you have to choose the other 2.
Cost, your family gets a need, which completely invalidates the whole point. That's cool.
Oh, no.
Hurt somebody, the GM will say to take 2 treaty on you, which also invalidates the point because now they can just steal 2 things from me. That's cool. All right, whatever.
Oh no. I mean, yeah. Basically, it's just there's a different thing than rare materials. So you get it back as you erase it as a need, but it's not a surplus.
So what is the need that I get instead?
Yeah, related to what happened. I don't know what makes sense. I don't have the book in front of me right now. Let me find the different surpluses and needs and stuff. Legacy. Well. Where is this? Here we go. Found it. Let's see here. Maybe recruits. Like people end up dying. Yeah. Like people get killed in the whole fight, so you end up with the need of recruits. Yeah, and then they get 2 treaty on you. Is that what happened? Okay.
I think anybody gets treaty. They make the most sense, but I think you can pick whoever.
Oh, so 2 people.
I hurt somebody, so somebody gets 2 treaty on me.
Okay. Yeah. What if you... Oh, what if you use some last watch people to do this, and that kind of some of them got killed, and that kind of made them angry.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So they now have 3 treaty on you. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so we see Nissa leading a fight against my vision, and they steal back some of their rare materials. But the heralds leave. The newly refounded heralds who are focused on being proactive were ready for them and took quite a few of their number down.
Yeah.
And so do I still have that surplus or?
No.
Okay.
But you don't have it as a need, so
yeah.
Yep, you used it and have healed, but you no longer have access to it. Yeah, and the divide between the Parahelians and the Forgotten Heralds deepens.
You mean the perihelion and literally everybody?
That's true. That's true. But hey, this is the thing. If the perihelions do end up joining the demons stuff, then the new harmony will be all about that. So.
I mean, if they join the demons, they'll basically just be the new harmony at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What if? Oh man, wouldn't that be a crazy situation if like, for the next age, like the perihelions and the new harmony like combined to be one different faction, and you and Josh both like figured out what that looked like, and that'd be a kind of weird thing.
I mean, I would probably play a different faction, and I would let him play that amalgamation probably.
That's true. Yeah, you might have some. Yeah.
And I don't really know how well the system would work having two people play one, right? Like I don't want to have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, if there's nothing else that makes sense to do, we can just probably call it there. That's the Hellbreaker sequence. I love that this game so far has just been every character successively getting tempted by demon power. That's literally what the whole thing has been. I'm about it, because it seems like that's going to reach ahead and horrible, horrible things will happen. So, awesome. Well, there you go. That's been the Hellbreaker sequence. We'll be back next time. Adios.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.